That's my girl!
I'm Agnes Morelos, and I'm from the greater Seattle area, and I was born and raised in Federal Way, and I relocated to San Francisco in fall 2016 to attend the professional communication program for graduate school at the University of San Francisco. When I was in undergrad, I studied human services, and in the MAPC program, I've learned to refine my writing skills, especially with technical communication as a focus. Once I'm done with grad school, I'm looking forward to using what I've learned to do technical writing within healthcare or finance. It's been about 4 months since I completed the Seattle Marathon, and in many ways it's been nice to regroup and recuperate, but it's also brought forth a lot of challenges. I didn't realize how helpful marathon training would be for me, especially with what I had gone through in 2015. And since taking marathon running out of my life and cutting back because I'm in grad school, it's been hard because of the emotional and mental stress of both processes. I decided to cut back and just focus on grad school and only run 10 to 20 miles a week as opposed to the 30 to 50 miles I would normally do while marathon training. And since taking the training out, it's been tough because a lot of past issues with mental health have resurfaced, and I've been struggling with some thoughts of suicide and some issues with depression that I struggled with back when I was in college. But even though those days are more frequent and those thoughts are more frequent, I feel like I'm able to catch myself a lot more because of marathon running and the self-care that I was able to practice through marathon running, and I think that alone is a testament to what I have gone through and how I've grown since that year. Then in July, one of my good friends from my childhood from church and also in college, while she was house sitting, she was murdered. And then another month and a half after that, another good family friend passed away. And then another month after that, in September, one of my professors, a couple days before school started, she passed away from cancer. And then another month or two after that, another distant family member passed away. When all the deaths were happening this year, my self-care wasn't the greatest, and I wasn't very happy, and I tried to take care of friends and family and even myself, but it was just very challenging to stay positive about anything. And when it came to time to celebrate my birthday, I just didn't want to do anything. I contacted some of my friends from Fife and Federal Way in Seattle, and they came up to Bellingham, where I was going to college at the time at Western, and we had my birthday weekend up there. The day of October 3rd, I just remember not feeling very happy that morning and not wanting people around, and I could just tell something was off. But I kind of just pushed through the night and kind of faked my way in, because these people came up to visit me and to celebrate me. And I remember that night, I remember going to the first bar, having a few drinks there and a few shots. And then I also remember going to the second bar and having a few drinks there, and then one of my friends turning a drink away from me, and then leaving the second bar. And then after leaving the second bar, I don't remember anything. I blacked out, and the next thing I know, on the morning of my birthday on October 4, I woke up alone in the hospital, It was around 4 or like 5 in the morning, and I just remember thinking to myself, like, what happened last night? Another thought that came to mind that morning was, how am I going to tell my mom I almost died after the year that we had? And it was just very challenging thinking about that. Was how are my parents going to react to this? How am I going to pay for these bills? How am I going to process this? And I think it was just it was hard to process a lot of what happened that morning, just because I thought that the people I had there with me the night before were going to make sure everything was okay, but because they knew what had happened. But looking back at it, it was just a very rough night. So growing up, I was raised Catholic, and I went through the whole process: baptism, confirmation, first communion, and I was pretty involved with my faith for the most part. When 2015 had happened, I really struggled with my faith life, and that was tough for me because my faith was something that I was very grounded in. And I just saw my faith in the world and anything and anyone collapse, because I'd never really faced death to that magnitude, and I was really angry with God, and I didn't know what to do. And even when I was struggling with depression and some mental health issues in college prior to 2015, I was able to catch myself. But after that year, I just found it tough to believe in anything. When I came to San Francisco, I didn't want anything to do with God or religion or any kind of faith, because it was just very challenging to believe in something when all this death and tragedy had happened to my friends and family. And in some way, marathon running brought me back to my faith, and it brought me back to believing in people. And I think having the lists and running with them really helped a lot. Regardless of where my head was at that day with training, whether I was sad, mad, or even motivated to push through a full 20 miles for my run, I would make a sign of the cross for every mile, and I would just pray and meditate or think about these people and think, hey, Nathan, mile 1, my mom and dad and sister, mile 26, my grandma, mile 26. And I went through this process of just thinking about each person for every mile, and I wanted to run till the very end for each person. And that's how I came back to my faith through marathon running, was being able to pray for other people through each step I took, through each mile I ran. And I, in some way, was able to find God through the process as well. And I'm hoping to run more races in the future. Portland, New York, maybe even Boston, we'll see. But I am looking forward to seeing where I will go after grad school as well.
Hello, my name is Gail Noble Sanderson. I first met Agnes Morelos when she was a student in one of my classes at Western Washington University. Right after the quarter started, Agnes introduced herself to me, and we both found that we had a lot in common, including the fact that we were both people who stutter. Over the next couple years, Agnes and I saw each other frequently. We talked about stuttering, of course. We talked about her wishes and hopes for her future. And I just want her to know how proud I am of her. And she's just become a wonderful, compassionate, confident, beautiful young woman.
My name is Rachel. I live up in the Seattle area, up in Washington. When Agnes told me she was doing a marathon and dedicating each mile to friends and family and different things she's learned over the years, she put my name down in the friend category. And it made me cry a little bit when she told me I'm truly honored because she was my first friend when I moved to a new school district. I've known Agnes for about 10 years now. We met on the cross-country team back in 8th grade. I honestly don't think I would have survived that first year without her, because she is, without a doubt, one of the most caring people I have ever had the pleasure of knowing. She has a passion for humanity that is unmatched, and I am, as always, very thankful that I've been able to see her grow over the years.